What's up, resellers? I'm Rebecca, and you're watching Rebecca the Reseller. Thanks for joining me today for another Poshmark closet review. I haven't done one in such a long time. I am so excited to do one. For those of you that don't know, I do Poshmark closet reviews. They are available in my Etsy shop for purchase. I go ahead and complete like a multiple page summary that I send you. I send you my free resources guide, and then I do a custom video, which goes on my channel and then obviously goes to you, of course, first, and then it goes on my channel publicly. So they are $35. A lot of times they're on sale if I'm running a sale in my Etsy store. So if you're interested, go ahead and check those out in the description below, along with all the other cool stuff that I share with you down in the description. But this closet review, I'm really excited to do. It is for On the Hunt _IRL. And her name is, I don't know if it's Alicia or Alicia, so I apologize, but thank you so much for purchasing a closet review and wanting to know kind of my thoughts and opinion on everything you have going in on your Poshmark closet. I really do love helping people increase their Poshmark sales, just kind of take a professional or second look at what they're doing to help increase their Poshmark sales, to have provide a better buying experience, to just kind of tweak some of the things that they're already doing to get the most out of what they're doing. And so I have some really great tips for you, I believe, but you're also doing a lot right. And I'm really happy to see that, because sometimes, I have closets that need a little bit more help, and then sometimes there are other closets that need a little bit of less help. So I definitely have some things that you can work on that we'll go over, but I do think you're doing a lot right. So let's dive in. So usually I start kind of with like the basics and the general stuff as far as the look and the feel of your closet, some of the information you're providing. So like your closet name field. This is something I always start with. You're starting it with an exclamation point. I think that is a great way to get additional exposure for your closet, because what happens, for those that don't know, is when you go to like a followers list, they're in alphabetical order. When you use an exclamation point, that puts you to the top of the list. You may not be the very first one, but you're going to be up closer to the top. So when someone is going down someone else's followers to follow, if you're closer to the top, you will get all of that activity and exposure. And so that is really helpful. Also, your banner, I think it looks nice. Got a nice little like moon over a mountain, or the sun over a mountain. Very pretty. I think that's great. No improvements necessary. I love that you have a buyer confidence boosting line in your information area. So what you have is same next day shipping, accepting offers. I love that. It's something I highly recommend. My only critique here would be if you have any room, because I don't know how many characters they let you have. It's been such a long time since I messed with mine, but actually I probably should go mess with mine and update it for how many I've sold. But so one of the things that I like is same next day shipping, absolutely. And then perhaps you might want to put how many items you've sold. Now for you, if it's not that many and you don't feel like that's something you want to draw attention to, then maybe say when you get to 100 sales, that's when you're going to put it. But I think letting your buyers know that you have a track record and that you've sold before and you've sold so many before is great. Like for me, I've sold over 7,000 listings on Poshmark. And so for me, that's something that I definitely want to let people know. So that would be my only kind of critique for that. But I think it's great that you have it. Next is your avatar. It's yourself. It's a nice picture of you, nice and bright. You're smiling. You got your makeup on. You look great. So I'm happy that you're showing that they are buying from a person. And for some people, that's really important. Some people don't want to do business with logos or people that have a sign in their avatar. They want to do business with someone that is a person. So I think that's great. Next is your link, and you have a link to your Instagram. I don't really get into, kind of looking at people's Instagram. So if you're sending them there, hopefully you're doing something great there to, give them a sale or promote your closet or what have you, but it's great that you have that included. Next, for all-time number of listings, you're at 405. So I'm assuming you're a part-time reseller. I don't know for sure, but if you are, I think 400 listings as far as an all-time goes is great. It's a nice little closet, perfectly respectable. You've been doing it. You have practice. You've gone through the motions several times. You're not a huge closet, but you have a substantial amount of activity. So I think that's great. You'll soon enough hit 500, and if I were you, I would be making a milestone and goal to get to that 1,000th listing. That's going to be really exciting for you. So if you have a particular time frame you may want to hit that by, I think that would be awesome to set as a goal. If you are looking to increase your Poshmark sales, which I assume anyone that purchases a closet review from me is wanting to increase their Poshmark sales. I just kind of make that assumption. So if you're looking to increase your Poshmark sales, at a minimum, my general rule of thumb is that you should be listing as many items as you want to sell every day. Now, that's a pretty high, that's 100% sell-through rate. So usually it's anywhere between 50 to 100% for me. So for me, I list 10 expecting to sell 5 on any given day. Sometimes I list 10 and I sell 10. Sometimes I list 10 and I sell 5. Of course, there are days where I list 10 and I sell 2, but for the most part, those are good averages to kind of shoot for and try to see if you can sustain as a track record. So if you want to be getting to where you have 10 sales going out every single day, you need to be listing at least 10 items, if not 20 or more. So just, something to kind of give you a little bit of a gauge. Everyone wants something different out of Poshmark, and if you are happy being a part-time seller and you only want to make a few sales a day, something like that, I think that's totally fine and respectable. But do keep in mind that consistently listing, then let's say 5 to 10 listings a day, should get you a couple of sales per day. Now, for shares, I love that you've kind of just done over the 5,000. You have 5,037 shares. Great. So that probably means that you did just enough to get your Poshmark ambassador status and then said, no way, not going to waste my time. And that's really something that I recommend. I don't recommend people doing a lot of community shares. I think in the beginning, it is great to give you a feel of what's going on. It gets you exposed to different listings and you can share them. You can see what people are listing. You can see what other people's photos are like. You can see what other people are pricing their items at. And so by you going through and sharing, you're just spending some more time and getting a feel for things. So I think it's good in that regard. I also think when you share other people's items, not everyone is going to share back. I don't share back. I can't even tell you how many notifications I get every time I open the app. There's no way I'd be able to do that myself. It would be a full-time job just on its own. So I don't do share backs, but every once in a while I'll pop in and share from the feed just because I want to spread the love. I have over 400,000 followers on my Poshmark, and so I feel like it's nice to pop in every once in a while and do that. But I don't make it an everyday practice. I don't spend the day sharing thousands of other people's items. I spend my time very wisely doing sales generating activities for me, and I'm glad to see that you're not wasting your time doing it for others. So anytime that you have, you should be focusing on your own closet. However, when you're on the newer side, it can't hurt if you've done all your own things to help someone out and in turn help yourself out by sharing some of their items, then perhaps they will share yours as well. And you never know what will happen from that. Spreading that, those ripples out, spreading your web, your network on Poshmark out can always be a good thing. It's just prioritizing the tasks that you want to partake in. So I think you're doing fine, but if you do want to and you have some extra time sitting in the car while someone else is driving, watching TV and Netflix and stuff like that, and you're just kind of chilling out, you can totally do some shares just to get some extra exposure. But I kind of limit it to that. Next is followers and following, and this all kind of goes along the same lines. It looks like you have 29,000 followers and that you're following about 30,000, almost 31,000. So that shows me that you're not going out and trying to click a million buttons, follow a million people, trying to get followers. You're not wasting a lot of time on those activities. That's good. I'd rather you spend your time on sharing your own closet, which we'll get to soon, and going ahead and listing more items or improving the items that you have and improving the listings that you have, sourcing better things, doing research. That's where you should be spending your time. But if you have free time, there's nothing wrong with going in and doing the mindless task of clicking follow, 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 follow. I will tell you, I like doing it sometimes. When we go on vacation, I'll just go on follow sprees and follow thousands of people in a day because it's the only time where I'm kind of unplugged that I could do a task like that because I'm always doing other things for my Poshmark closet. So if you find yourself just wanting to relax and do a mindless task, following can't ever hurt you. It's just not going to, time for amount spent help you in that much of a benefit. So, do it with a grain of salt. But I do have a video which I recommended to you on how to increase your Poshmark followers if you are interested in that. Next up, last active. So I click into your about section. Hello. Click into the about section and I can see that you were last active this hour, which every time I've clicked in, even when I was doing the summary, it was showing me that. So that means that you're actively in the app, you're in there all the time. That is great. Buyers do check this. They want to know that you're active. They want to know that if they send you a question or they send you an offer, you are going to pay attention. They want to know that if they buy something from you outright, that you're going to ship the item sometime soon. So they do check this. They check that you've been active last hour. They check that you have a good average ship time, which is something else to mention, that it's 1 day. So that's great. Great job on getting your packages out quickly, and try to keep that up, because over time, when you build that track record, you could eventually take some time off and have sales rack up while you're on vacation and then ship when you get back from vacation. And those, let's say, 4 to 7 days that you didn't ship won't really count against you because you've shipped so quickly for most of the time and most of the packages. So for me, I think I have like 1.1 ship days. If I go on vacation for a week and don't ship anything and then ship all the packages when I get back, it's literally not going to affect my average ship time at all because I have such a long track record of doing quick shipping. So it's in your best interest to keep that going. You do have nice love notes in quantity and quality. You've given 5, you've received 15. They all seem like nice things. I didn't read every single one, but in general, they look nice, and that's what you want to see. It's okay if you don't have a million. I think anywhere between 10 and 20 received love notes that are positive is great. If I were a buyer, I would be satisfied with something like that. If I saw 5 or less, I would be a little bit hesitant. Or if I saw at the very top a negative one, because sometimes people can do 5 stars but say something negative. If I saw a negative one, I would, obviously be concerned about that. So I think anywhere between 10 and 20 is a great little track record to get going. So great job on that. Posher since. You've been a posher since December of 2015, so you have actually been poshing longer than me. I started in June of 2016, so I don't know all the wherefores and whyfores. You could have started to be a buyer and then maybe started part-time selling, and now you want to keep part-time selling, or you want to get into it full-time or something like that. So I do think you have a long history, which is great. It shows you're not new, but for the production that you have, as far as only 405 listings, only 29,000 followers, it does show me as a person kind of doing a critique that you haven't put a lot into it. And that could just be for those very reasons. You started as a buyer, then you kind of did a little selling here and there. Now you kind of want to really get into it perhaps. So it doesn't matter what it all is, but I do let you know that it is something that people may pay attention to. If you have an experienced seller that is looking to buy from you, they might say, what's going on with this person? It is something that I notice, but there really isn't anything else you can do about it other than just put up more listings and kind of get more followers and things like that. And it will happen over time. So you don't really need to do anything active about it, but I wanted to bring it up just so you're aware of it. Next is closet signs, one of my favorite things to talk about. Let me go back to your closet. Okay, so here we are in your closet. I scrolled through the entire thing earlier, and I did not see any closet signs at first. And then I found one sign, and that was a make me an offer sign. And it was a nice graphic, and it said, make me an offer. And it said, I can't say yes if you don't ask, which I thought was a really great way to solicit or give permission for people to make offers. I have done a lot of closet reviews. I've been in a lot of people's closets, even though I wasn't doing a closet review, and I've seen a lot of crazy offer signs. I thought yours was very nicely done, very professional, very nice and polite, and not saying, make an offer, and not saying only reasonable offers, and a lot of the things that kind of really get my goat when people make these kinds of signs. So really nice job on having a nice, polite sign. So I think that's good. I do think it should be at the top of your closet. I don't know why it's all the way at the bottom. It was at the bottom anyway. Maybe you were sharing or whatever, but it shouldn't be at the bottom. It should be at the top. So that's number one. Number two, I think you should make a bookmark sign. Now, I've talked about this in other Poshmark closet reviews for those that are watching. Everyone should have a Poshmark bookmark closet sign. At the top, front and center where these shorts are, you should have a Poshmark bookmark closet sign, just as a place to welcome them to your closet should they happen to find themselves in your closet. Because again, a lot of people will just click on an item, decide to buy or not to buy, and never actually go in your closet. But if they did, it's nice to welcome them. It's like when they walk in the front door of a business. Although I will tell you, it's one of my serious pet peeves that there are people that don't greet you when you walk into their place of business. Drives me crazy. But anyone that walks into any business establishment, no matter if they're helping another customer or not, should take 1 second to say, "Hi, I'll be with you in a minute." "Hi, welcome to this whatever store." And so by you having a bookmark closet sign, that is your welcome. That is your welcome to the people coming to see your closet. I think everyone should have one, and I think it's a great place for people to like it so that they can find your closet again, hence calling it a bookmark, as well as providing some additional information about how it is to shop in your store. You can encourage them to make offers there. You can say, like for price drops and offers. You can say I ship same next day like you do here, but you can also have that in a listing as well. Plus it gets shared when you share your closet, and so it's something that kind of can draw people's attention in depending on the look and feel of it. So it's just a little promotion. I think it's really important, and I would suggest to you to do one. I have an example in your summary of my bookmark sign, which you can click on, and then I also have a video about how to create signs with the Over or Typorama apps on your phone. You can also use Canva. When I made that video, I wasn't using Canva. Now I really like Canva, but either way, you can do it on any of those. But I think the Make Me an Offer sign is good. I think you need a bookmark sign. Next up, product mix, brand, and size. So here's some really great news because a lot of times this is an area where I have a lot of critiques for people. I actually think you have some really nice things in your closet. I think you have, I might kind of like mix things here, but I think you have a great product mix as far as brand and size, but also as far as item type and style. You have a selection of items for all occasions, all styles, all seasons, all categories. Like, it's a super diversified closet, which I really love to see. You've got some home items, some mugs, you've got some, I'm pretty sure I saw some men's items in there. You have all kinds of women's, whether it's athleisure, career, more dressy, more casual, like all kinds of stuff, all seasons. As you can see right here, she's got jackets, pants, dresses, and shorts all in one line. You've got shoes, like everything. So really great job, because some people don't do that. And I think the more, fishing lines or fish hooks you have in the water, the more chances you'll catch a fish. So by having all kinds of different things, you can appeal to all kinds of people. I do think you have a great mix of price ranges as well, from like your Veronica Beard here at $149 all the way down to some, more common things. Let's see, like you have the Chico's jacket at $25, which is a pretty interesting jacket, but you have, just some normal things. I do think $25 for the Champion top might be a little high. We'll talk about pricing in a little bit, but you have a wide range. So I thought that was really good. I always tell people to challenge themselves to find higher dollar items like your Veronica Beard, like the Outdoor Voices, things like that, because the more of those you have racked up in your closet, the more higher end sales you're going to have. And so for me, I am really trying to focus on those $50 plus items. Doesn't mean they're going to sell for $50. Doesn't mean they're all going to sell. But the more of those I have in my closet over, let's say, a $10 or $15 item, means I have more chances of having more like a $50 sale than I do of having a $10 or $15 sale. So I think that's really good. Next is prohibited items. I did not see any, so you're good there. Let's talk about photo presentation and lighting. This is another area where I tend to sometimes have a lot of comments for people. With your closet, I really don't. I think you've done a wonderful job, and there's a couple reasons why. So in general, the photos that you take look great. I think the items are presented well. I think the photos are bright. It does look like you edit out the background, so you're probably using like a photo room or some other background removing app on your phone to get that pure white background. I assume that's what it looks like to me. I think that's great. I am being a little bit nitpicky here. That's what I wrote in the summary, because I'm not a fan of your hanger. And normally I don't really talk about things like that, but I feel like there are certain items, because you have a very thin wire hanger, they look kind of droopy. I don't know if I'll find one easily, but kind of when I did my full scroll through, like even this here, this Lane Bryant, now again, that's a plus size, so that's a reason on its own. I don't know if I'll find anything that I explicitly want to say, but like even here, this Free People top, it's hanging okay. It's straight. It looks well cared for. I think it would look nicer on, yeah, even this one down here. I think it would look nicer on a more substantial hanger that is a little bit wider instead of just a thin wire, and perhaps velvet, so that when you hang it, it's not like kind of drooping and sliding, but actually hangs well. I use wire hangers. I have a link to them in my Amazon store and below all my videos. I got these pink ones. I really like them. And I also got the matching, pants hanger, and it's the widest pants hanger I've ever found to accommodate plus size as well. I have like asked for Kohl's plus size hangers. I have purchased other plus size hangers, and this one, I've measured it, is actually the widest one to accommodate the most of plus size things. So I do think that sometimes the hanger matters, and that's kind of a nitpicky thing, but if you want to do an upgrade, you want to level up, a hanger is a really easy way to do it, and I think it could make the presentation just look a little bit cleaner. The other thing, I think I spelled clothing wrong on here. Another thing I thought for the up level would be if you wanted to invest in lights. It is possible that you have lights and that you didn't always have lights, and so there were some items that I saw where you can really tell the daylight, uneven light, and the shadowy on it, but then others looked fine. So if you have lights, keep using them. Maybe at some point, you can redo some of the photos on the other items that don't have it. But like here, this Lucky Brand sweater, it doesn't look quite even with the lighting. There was another one. This high-low Hattie, that could just be like an overexposure kind of thing, but even you can see the shadows with this Lane Bryant. There's a few things that kind of made me think that you were using daylight, but then there are a few others where it looks great. So I don't know. If you don't have lights, you might want to consider lights. Those are linked in my Amazon store, and I did give you my free resources guide in your closet review summary. That is where I have all of my links for everything, so you might want to check that out. Now you do have a lot of stock photos, which we all know we're not supposed to, but I use them too. The only thing I wanted to make on that, because they can obviously help, with certain items and kind of showing them off, because it's a professional shot, is that you don't spend too much time researching them, especially if you're a part-time seller. You want to use your time wisely. You want to use it for sharing and for listing and for sourcing better things. That's where I think a part-time, even a full-time person should be spending their time, or on like sending offers and things like that. If you're spending your time 15-20 minutes looking up one stock photo, that's bonkers. Stop doing it. I think that stock photos are great, but here's my thing. I put, it's better to list 2 items with your own photos than 1 item with stock photos that took 20 minutes to find. So I really feel like if we can all kind of take a moment and settle with that, we all can get guilty of going down that internet rabbit hole. Like, I've got to find that stock photo. But sometimes it's better to just list another item and use your own photos for both of them. Because I've sold plenty of items with my own photos and not with stock photos. So just kind of think on that a little. Next up, number of photos, details, and tags. You're taking a great amount of photos. You have several photos per listing, so that is good. You're showing the right features like the front and the back and some details, as well as all of the tags that you need to be showing, and all of the tag pictures are upright, which I love. Great job on that. So many people have them sideways, but I am not a fan. I've never been a fan of the tape measurements photos. So I don't know if this one's going to have it. I clicked in other photos before, but let's just see. Here we go. Okay, so this is actually, even more proves my point. So look at the cover photo that you have. Those shorts look great. It's bright. It's a nice pure white background. You have them hanging nicely. Perhaps you should zip the zipper. It looks like it's unzipped. Maybe it's not. I don't know. You know, you've done a great job with some of the other things in your listing, which we'll talk about. But then I scroll down. I'm like, I want these shorts. And then I scroll down. I'm like, oh, what? So like, I hate how this looks. This could just be me. I know that there are people, maybe you're one of them, that say, when I show what I'm measuring, then they know exactly what I'm measuring, and so that makes sure that it's accurate and all of this stuff. And I get that. Like, there is this much, you know, to that. But I think that this looks terrible, and I'm really sorry to say I'm going to kind of bring a little bit of my Poshmark tough love that I do in some of my other videos, because it looks like you just threw them on your bed. I don't know if it's clean. I mean, I'm not saying anything against you, but when I see items on people's carpets or on their bed, it just makes me cringe because I don't know what's going on there. And yes, all of these items are in our homes. We don't know what everybody's doing. I get it. But when you show them that, it just brings it to their attention. However, when you show me this, I'm like, oh, look at that. That's nice. That looks how it should be. That makes everything clean. It's clear. It's whatever. And then I go down and I see this and I'm like, ugh, you know? So it could just be me. But I know that if I think it, there's somebody else at least out there that feels it. I may not be the only one. It may be a lot of people, maybe a little people, but I think just as there's a contingent of people that think it's okay to do tape measurement photos on the bed or whatever, I think there's also a lot of people that think it's icky. And so if you want to up level, this is an easy way for you to do it. Just get a white piece of, you know, the foam core paper or poster board from the dollar store and put it on top of your bed and then do this if you have to do it. And that way that will, you know, kind of, it'll be a white background. It'll make it nice and easy. But I don't think you should do the tape measurement photo thing at all. I just don't think it looks nice. I used to be a person that wrote out all of my measurements in my listing. Now I've even changed that and recently released a video where I showcase my photo ready measurements form and how I'm able to include my measurements in written form in my photos without having to type it in my listing anymore. So it saves time, it saves characters, and it looks presentable. So that would be my recommendation to you, is to give it a try doing it that way and see how you like it. Because doing it like this just really kind of makes my heart hurt a little bit. If I'm being completely honest. And so I have the link for you in here on how to find that video for those of you at home watching. Photo Ready Measurements Form Demo, I think is what I called the video. It's one of my recent ones. And then the actual photo form is available in my Etsy shop, but you can certainly make your own if you want to. So that is that. They're also, this one is lighter, but some of the ones that I clicked in, they were very far away and dark. And so if you're trying to show the measurements, having it be dark and far away, it doesn't lend itself well to showing the measurements. So that was my thought on that. Pricing, I thought overall your pricing is good. I think it's right on target for pretty much all of your items. There was a few, like I said, that Champion one, I kind of thought that was a little high, but you know, other than that, I thought it was really good. I do hope that there's, you know, room in there for you to make offers depending on your buy cost. Everyone's is different, so it's hard for me to say or give you too much advice on that. But I do, you know, suggest where you can pricing items on the categories. So as you can see over here, under 25, 25 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 250, etc. Those are your categories. So like here you have the Outdoor Voices at 50, great. Starbucks mug, 25, great. You want a Barashi is at 58. Sometimes it just has to be in the middle, but think to yourself, could you sell that at $50 if it got it double exposure? Because when you're showing it at 50, you're getting it at 25 to 50 and 50 to 100. So it's double time. So is that $8 really worth it to you? Do you not think that somebody is going to send you an offer perhaps anyway, or you're going to send an offer out? So it's not really going to probably sell for 58 anyway. So if you put it at 50, now double the amount of people will see it. That's how I've looked at it. I only recently started doing this, and I don't know if it's made a difference or not, to be completely honest with you, but it makes a lot of sense to me mentally, and I feel like it could be a really great thing. So perhaps you might just want to take a run through your closet and see. Now, I know when you do closet clear out, you're dropping prices, so things might end up being off of the 50 and then they're going to go down, but you can always put it back up to 50. So, or relist it. So like here, this Cheyenne Find Your Path county shirt. Should it say country? Because it doesn't say country, it says county. I don't know. Like it's at 22. You probably dropped it from 25 maybe, but you could put it back to 25 and relist it. Rails shirt is at 47. So I don't know if you did that on purpose, if that was a price drop or whatever, but you could put that at 50 easily. And now you've got double exposure on that item. So just something to think about there. Titles. I thought your titles were really good. I thought they had the right amount of keywords. They were hitting on the right things. I thought you were doing a good job with it. They weren't too short. Champion Athletic Thumb Hole Workout Shirt, size extra large. Chico's Distressed Embroidered Denim Jean Jacket. Yes, hitting on both the denim and the jean. Good job. Rails Hunter Plaid Long Sleeve Shirt, top. St. John Heart Distressed Blue Jeans, Lulu's Shift and Shout Ivory Shift Dress. So, I mean, I think you're doing a great job with that. Title's good. If you ever are looking for more keywords, I do have a whole video on keywords. You might want to check that out. Description length. Okay, so let's get into descriptions. So these are some of your, I did by just in, so that way we can find your most recent things that you're working on now. So let's look at this H&M coat. So you've got the H&M coat, you got a good title. Let's go into your description here. So couple things. One is it's a little short. You could give a lot more information here in your description. I think it's nice and organized. You have a nice format. Format is great. However, recently Poshmark had said, I think after the last Posh Fest, that sentences and paragraphs are preferred to descriptions with a lot of line breaks where it looks more like a form, and that hit me hard because I always did a form format. Like it said size, this, brand, this. Like it was very much like a form because I had a VA helping me. And since then I changed that completely, and now it's more of like a sentence slash run-on sentence slash not really actually grammatically correct at all, but it's all the words in a string in a paragraph rather than a form. So you have like the hyphen and then a great pre-owned condition, then a new line, faux pockets, etc. So Poshmark has said that that's less beneficial for SEO. So you may want to change that going forward. That's just something I have done myself and recently changed over, and so I'm suggesting it to you. I think you can add more keywords. I think you can hit on length, neckline, sleeve, style, item type, fit, occasion, formality, print, texture, fabric, feel, weight, stretch, how you put it on, details, embellishments, color, etc. There's lots that you can hit on. And so for every item, you may not have something for all of it, but for a lot of items, I think you can find a few more keywords, and that will help your item get found in search more times. And at the end of the day, getting found in search is key. The more at-bats you have by having more appropriate keywords are more searches for your item to show up in. That's more chances to potentially make a sale. It's as easy as that. So I really challenge people, I know keywords are hard, to go through your listings and try to find more appropriate keywords. I do have a keywords list in my Etsy shop. It's been very popular and people have really liked it and make use of it, and that's what I developed for me to use when I had trouble with keywords. So I really feel like that might be something that could benefit you if you have trouble with it. If you don't have trouble with it, you're just not doing it, please do it. I think it will help. Okay, additional keywords. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I do have a listing template video if you want to check that out just to kind of see overall how I do my listing description. But I think you have a format to it. I think because they've looked pretty similar. So I think the idea of a template you just could embellish it a little bit or improve it a little bit. So nice job on that. I said that. Condition. Okay, so you have great pre-owned condition, and I've warned about this before. I don't like the idea of saying great. I think great can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. What I do is I say excellent condition, with no flaws. And so to me, that's saying the most up, because I'm not saying like new, because you got to be careful with that too. So I say excellent condition because all the items that I source are in excellent condition. If it's not in excellent condition, it's not going in my store. So if you are sourcing things that are not excellent condition, then you can't say that. If everything that you're sourcing is excellent condition and has no flaws, I think you should cover your butt by saying that, because that way you're letting them know, I'm not hiding something from you. I'm not purposefully leaving it out so I could say, oh, I didn't see it. Like there's no hole on the side that I didn't forget to tell you about. This is in excellent condition with no flaws. And that way you're just saying it all. I think it's a little less subjective. I mean, yes, excellent could mean different things to different people, but I think it's saying more than great, which gives me more confidence in that item. That's what I think. Again, my opinion. For measurements, we already kind of talked about it. Not a fan of the measurements with the tape measure in the photos. I used to type them out. Now I do the photo ready measurements form. So that would alleviate it being in your description, which you're not doing anyway. So that would be the same for you. You're just changing the format in which you're communicating the measurements in the photos. So I think that would be really good for you. Consider a line about offers welcome, heart for price drops, and when you ship to help with buyer confidence. So in the banner of your closet, you had ship same next day and offers welcome. You could very easily, since you don't have a lot in your description, you can very easily add a buyer confidence line. I have an entire video about boosting buyer confidence and how you can do that and all the ways that you can create this line for yourself, but I have it go in every single listing. It's the last thing in there. And it just says, professional seller, heart for, I don't even remember what it says. It's copy and pasted. I never type it anymore, but it's along those lines of just giving them what I always say, every reason to buy and no reasons not to buy. So you're answering. You can heart it. You'll get price drops. Offers are welcome. I ship same next day. I am a professional seller. Whatever other things. So I think that that's giving them every reason to buy from you and no reasons not to buy from you. So hopefully you'll take up my advice on that. Solds, let your solds guide you on a lot of things like pricing, brands, photo, style, what works well. What sells will sell. So I recommend this to everybody. It's kind of like a blanket thing that I do. Just check out your solds and know that those are the things where it's gone right. And so that's not something to shake a stick at. It's not something to be ignored. I actually saw, let's see, I knew you had some men's. So you have men's AG jeans for $45, Michael Stars for $35, Michael Kors for $22. These Ciao Bella, those are cute. $50 for those. A purse for $20. That's unfortunate. Coach, maybe it's not in great condition. I don't know. That's a bummer. Rare Lily Pulitzer, Easter extravaganza dress, $30. So, I mean, this is what's selling. This is what the market is saying yes to. And so I think you should just kind of keep an eye. Here you have these Anthro, Aging, okay, so those are the Stevie. Those are 40. I saw that you had some other Anthro pants at like 65, and I kind of thought that was a little high, but see, here's where it kind of settles at 40. So, let your solds kind of guide you as far as things to be picking up, brands that are doing well. What is the market telling you? And I think that's good advice for everyone, to not forget about your solds, like your own solds, not just everybody else's. Last shared. Okay, so you're about to get a smackdown, Alicia, we'll see. Although I think you're sharing now or you just shared. But let's look at the top. Okay, updated 47 minutes ago. Fine. Let's see, because I'll tell you what happened when I looked at it. So we're in just shared right now. Let's scroll down, shall we? And see. Let's see, let's go right here. 52 minutes ago. Okay, so you were sharing. Let's see if you did your whole closet, Missy. Because when I did my summary before, I had something that's shocking. Anybody an Elf fan? The Christmas movie? That's shocking. Let's see. Even Geo, he's 5 years old now. This past Christmas was when he finally started appreciating the Elf movie, and like actually like he goes and he says, I like to whisper too. It's like, yes, you finally fit into the family. Because last year I was really wondering, okay, an hour ago. So you shared your whole closet. So lucky, lucky, lucky. Because when I checked initially, and that was like an hour ago, you hadn't shared in 8 to 11 hours. Some items said 8 hours and some items said 11 hours. That's like years in Poshmark sharing time. That's a long time, especially the particular hours that it was, because it was not only over the evening hours, but I was doing this at like 12 Eastern time, and you hadn't yet shared your closet in the day. That's a reason why you may not have the sales that you feel you deserve, or that I think you deserve, because you have some very nice things. I think it's because you need to share your closet more. And this is, people say on any tips video, any Poshmark selling tips video, it's you need to share your closet. You need to share your closet. And everybody's like, yeah, she doesn't have any new tips, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it before, but yet people don't do it. And I'm not completely getting on you, because it could be that it's Saturday and you had something to do, and so you just didn't get to do it. So this may not be a normal thing for you, but if it is, please be honest with yourself. If it is that you're only sharing your closet 1, 2 times a day, but could somehow squeeze in a third time a day, you will see a significant jump in sales. It may not be every single time you share, but overall, over a small period of time, you will see the activity go. It really is that powerful. People are so oversharing, I know, but it really is that powerful. And I'll tell you why, in case for anyone watching at home, or in case you don't know. When you share your item, it puts it to the top of search, right? So we know that. And so it obviously goes to your followers in their feed as well. But so if somebody is searching for distressed jean shorts and you recently shared your item, it's going to be closer to the top because you hit the keyword distressed denim shorts and you recently shared it. So it's going to be at the top of that search. Now, if someone says distressed denim shorts, but you haven't shared your closet in 11 hours, it will come up in that search, but it's not going to come up high in that search. It's going to be all the way down. So unless you find that person that just can't find what they're looking for, and they actually do end up on your item all the way down at the bottom of that search, then maybe you have a customer, but perhaps not. If you didn't have that keyword distressed in your listing description, but just shared the item, you may or may not come up depending on how they search. So keywords are important just as much, if not more than sharing frequently, so that you come up in the search, but then you come up at the top of the search. It's a two-pronged effect in my book. And I really feel like sharing your closet 3 times a day, especially when you have less than 500 total listings, let alone active listings, you only have 405 total listings, it should only take you 20 to 30 minutes to share your whole closet. And I know, maybe you have kids, maybe you're in school and have a job, maybe 50 million things. I totally get it. And so I'm not getting on you as a person or anything. What I'm saying is, if you expect more out of Poshmark, you need to put more into Poshmark. That's how it works. And so if you can't do it, or you don't want to do it, you need to find somebody. You need a little helper. You need a little helper. You need a high school student that or your mom, or your grandma, anyone that you can find in your family that has some spare time lying around, someone that you can pay a few dollars, or even a virtual assistant. Now it is so easy to get a virtual assistant, and there's so many resources. I have a hiring bundle in my Etsy store. There are courses out there about hiring a virtual assistant. I have an entire series on my channel about how to hire a virtual assistant and my experience with one. And I've had several over the last several years. I don't have one now. I released her during the pandemic, but I would like to get her or someone else back in soon, probably this year. So it's very possible to have someone help you if you just kind of take that step. And a lot of people have taken that step and are like, oh my God, I wish I did it sooner. So this isn't a commercial for VAs or whatever, but I do think that if that is your hang up, if that is your bottleneck, sharing, you need to get that figured out, because you have great stuff. So you should be selling like hotcakes over here. 3 to 5 times a day is what I recommend on that. Moving on, answering questions. I saw that you answered questions professionally and politely and within a timely manner, so I wanted to give you a big shout out for that, because there are so many closets I see where people are not answering questions, they're not very nice, or it takes them 5 days. So, I'm guilty of it. Things happen. You thought you responded, you saw it, you can't do it now, you forget, lots of things happen, but the few that I saw, you answered politely, professionally, and within a good time frame, and that's so important. So great job to you on that. If you don't have like text replacements and keyboard shortcuts and things like that, I have a video on that. I recommended that to you in your summary, so you can check that out. Bundle discount. I thought your bundle discount was a little stingy. You have 25% off of 3. That's not my favorite way to go about it. 25% is great. I personally do 20. I think anything less than 20 is like, don't get out of bed in the morning. But 20% or higher, kind of gets people thinking. But I think that 3 or more is stingy, because it's going to be, especially with a closet of your size at this point in time, probably difficult for someone to go into your closet who wants to make the most of their shipping and wants to bundle and likes to bundle. It's going to be hard for them to find 3 things that are in their size, that they like, and that is within their price range for them to buy, because you do have a smaller closet. If you had like 2,000 items, then perhaps you could get away with something like this, but I feel like bumping down your percentage to, let's say, 20, and bumping down your number of items to 2 will open up the ability for more people to make bundles, and that perhaps will give you more sales in general. Because I will tell you, I don't buy just one item from people. When I go to buy in a bundle, because that $7.11 drives me crazy. I hate it. So I don't want to pay it for just one item. So I think, unless I'm giving them a crazy, ridiculous lowball offer, then I'll eat the shipping. But most of the time, if I'm shopping for myself, I will go into a person's closet and I will look for whatever I can bundle, whether it's for me, for Gio, for my husband, or to sell. And so I will try to get 4 and 5 items. I'm always mindful not to go over the 5 pounds for the person, but I want as many items as I can shove in that bundle as possible to make that shipping a little bit more reasonable. And I think with 3 items requiring to get that bundle discount at your closet size at this given time, it's difficult. And so perhaps you could go down to 2, and that way more people could potentially bundle. But then to make you feel better, by not giving away the farm, go down to 20%. That would be my recommendation to you on that. So now we are with final impressions. So I will read this because when I write it, it makes more sense. Overall, I think you have a great little closet. I spelled that wrong. I was typing so fast today. I put an I in there. That doesn't belong there. I think your main focus should be on improving your listing measurements presentation. So not having the tape measure. So we talked about that. So not having that, and listing description to include more keywords and a buyer confidence line. You can add a bookmark sign and revise your bundle discount, and possibly even run a sale from time to time to increase sales. However, the biggest impact will come from listing more of the items you already are selling. You're doing great with your sourcing, you're picking good things, listing more of those, and then sharing your closet more times per day. Consider getting a helper if you're unable. It can be very powerful. So I really feel like you're doing a great job. I think you do not have a sourcing issue, unless it's that you can't get that many things. I think you're sourcing the right things. I think you're pricing them well. I think everything looks nice. I think you can just do a little nitty gritty on your measurements and the listing description, and then share, or list. And I think that you've got 4 pages of summary here. I think that can really do a lot for your closet. So thank you again so much for purchasing the closet review. I really hope that you take some of these, into your daily practice, and that they work for you, and that you do see an increase in sales. I wish you nothing but the best. For those at home, thanks for watching. I do have lots of other Poshmark closet reviews on the channel. I have lots of other Poshmark selling tips and tricks on the channel, and help you increase your Poshmark sales. So I hope you will subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment down below on anything that you thought during the video. Did I give you a tip that you didn't know? Is there something that you'd like to add? I would love to hear from you, and I'm sure Alicia or Alicia would love to as well. Thanks again to all. I will see you in the next video. Bye.